Hi, my name's Starsky and welcome to From the Studio on Clubbing TV. In this episode, I'm going to be taking a look at a really gorgeous little delay unit. It's the Zen Delay by Erica Synth and Ninja Tune. So this is really unusual in that it's actually an effects unit you play like an instrument. Normally instruments go through effects units and you play the instrument. With this you play the effects unit. You just want to get hands-on with all these knobs as soon as you start playing it. It's been perfectly crafted to give you access to all the controls you'd use for those really long dub style delays or those sort of floaty delays that you put over a break. And this is effectively 3 effects units in one. We've got the delay unit on the left hand side. This is a digital delay. We've got an overdrive circuit that uses this valve. It's actually a real valve that glows. We've got an analog filter on here as well. It's resonant, it's got low pass, band pass and high pass, and Erica Synths do a lot of Eurorack. They're really well known, or mainly known for the Eurorack stuff, and I've got a few of their Eurorack filters and they're absolutely stunning, as is this. So should we start off again just by taking a little listen to it, because it's just so nice. Doing a little bit of dub there because it was co-designed by Ninja Tune and Matt Black from Cold Cut, and he said that's the sort of stuff they love doing on the label. So this unit is sort of perfectly honed to doing that sort of stuff. And what's so clever about it is that as you're doing the delays don't degrade as they loop and they cycle from delay to delay. You can hold them there and you don't permanently lose all those filter frequencies. So if I play something like this, I can drop the filter all the way down and then bring it back again. Which is something you just can't do on any other delay unit I can think of. And the other really clever thing you'll notice is that this is still just looping. I've just turned the filter all the way down, but that's still looping. That feedback loop's continuing and continuing, and it's not going into sort of wild self-oscillation things like the space echo do. It's still there, just hanging on. And I'm not sure how long it'll do that for, but much longer than I'm prepared to sit here and wait. On most delay units, if you want to try and get that sort of infinite loop, you've got to get it really precise. On this, you've got loads of play in it. I've got to turn it up an awful lot in order for it to go into self-oscillation. And even then, it's not going completely wild and blowing your speakers, so it's perfectly honed for live performance. So let's take a look at the different types of delay we've got in it. We've just got 5 types of delay on this, but really that's just 3 types. We've got a tape delay, we've got a digital delay with a mono or stereo version of those, and then we've got a vintage delay, which is really crunchy and noisy. So starting off with the mono tape delay. And you may have noticed that we went into the stereo delay, and the difference between the tape delays and the digital delays is that in the tape delays, you get these nice little glitchy changes of pitch when you change the delay time. So there's tons and tons of fun to be had playing with that. With the digital delays, you don't get that sort of change of pitch. Which may not seem as cool and as fun, but actually it's a lot more useful sometimes when you're playing live and you don't want things to start going out of pitch randomly. So really useful that you've got both. And then we've got this one called the vintage delay as well. And that's really noisy, as you can hear. This gives a nice lo-fi sort of vibe on certain sounds, so something like a sort of mellow piano. So going a bit extreme there, but it just shows you can use this for all sorts of sounds to take them to places that they don't naturally belong. So really nice for playing around with it and sampling those bits and then using those bits in your track. So that's the delay side of thing. Let's take a look at the filter now as well, shall we? This has got a 24 dB analog filter. It's multi-mode. You've got a low pass, a band pass and a high pass mode. And you've heard me playing around with the low pass and the resonance already. But what's really nice about this is that on most analog delay units, what you get is a bit of degradation of the signal as it cycles through each of the loops, each of the delays. On this, you do that yourself with the filter, but you don't lose the signal. You've still got the main signal in there, which means you can drop the delay down a lot. Now that's what you get with a standard analog delay. You sort of filter it little bit by little bit, you get rid of the signal. But on this, so I'm filtering the high frequencies out and then I'm bringing them back in. And that mightn't sound like such a big deal, but no other delay unit does this. It sounds crazy, I know, because it seems so obvious, but I think that's what makes this such a unique bit of kit, because no one else had really thought of it. And these are the parameters you tweak when you're doing that sort of stuff in your DAW. You might have a delay going and then you have a digital delay, so you've got a nice bright signal, then you filter it yourself with a filter in the DAW. With this, they've just put all the stuff that you use in the DAW in a box. Brilliant idea. And that's a really nice sounding analog filter actually. I've done tests with it against my Analog Solutions Leipzig that I showed in an episode a couple of weeks ago, and it stacks up just as well. It's as good a filter and it's multi-mode. And it's not really a surprise. Erica Synths are famous for their Eurorack kit, and I've got a couple of their Eurorack filters and they're all really nice. And what's nice here is that it's a separate thing to the delay. You don't need to have the delay on to play the filter. You can turn the delay off or you can turn the filter off, so it is 3 independent effects, and it's stereo, which means you've got a really nice analog stereo filter that you can use to put tracks or beats or whatever through. So now you've heard what it can do, is it for you? At £500, it's not a Christmas stocking filler, it's a serious investment, but it is a serious bit of kit. And as I said in the intro, this is more like a performance instrument than a standard delay. You don't leave this, set it, and get on with your track. You stand there, you tweak, and you play it. So I hope that was of some use to you. And if it was, don't forget you can catch it whenever you like on our Clubbing TV official YouTube channel on the From the Studio playlist. And if you are into your synths and your music tech, don't forget to check out my Starsky Carr YouTube channel, where I've got a lot more in-depth and technical reviews and demos, and a big long one with this as well. So I'll see you in the next episode of From the Studio.